Hey guys, Jared with Express Screen, and wanted to take this opportunity to show you guys a new frame that we have for use with our GOCCOPRO 100. Many of you may know the red tip frame that we've always used over the years. It was discontinued, and so we went in search of another frame that gives you kind of that large image size. So this frame here, what we're calling this is our screen door frame. And you'll see why there's little grooves along the inner edge of this frame that these little silicone gasket pieces will fit down into, much like a screen door in your house or a screen window. So just expose this piece of mesh here. It's got an image on it, and you know, with our mesh, just like any of it, with the GOCCOPRO or any QS200 2536 or our My Screen, our mesh has a shiny side and a rougher side. With this frame, when we're putting this together, we want to use the shiny side facing towards the ceiling. I've got the grooves are facing up here. This is the other side of my frame here. There's really nothing that I can connect to the mesh on that side of the frame. So if you guys remember, with our GOCCOPRO 100 with the red tip frame, we would use a 25-inch setting from the machine. With this frame, it's a little bit shorter, and so therefore I'm using a 23 or 24-inch long piece of mesh in order to get it to cover the entire frame. So what I did was I just took a piece of Scotch tape and just placed it in the middle up near the top. The reason I do that is just to act essentially as a set of hands for me. Then I'm going to come down to my opposite end. I'm going to make sure that both of my edges, my left and right edge for me, are covered. And I'm going to take this little rubber gasket or silicone gasket. I'm pulling a little bit on the mesh, and I'm just going to press down in the middle and bring my finger towards the outside. So from the middle, working towards the outside of the frame. Okay, so just like that. Then I'm going to take another of the gasket pieces and do the same thing at the other end. What you may find is that tape is going to release, which is perfectly fine. And again, working from the middle towards the outside. All right, and really all I'm looking is just to get that gasket down in that groove, just to hold my piece of mesh. All right, once I have the two shorter ends secured down, then I'm just going to take one of my longer pieces of the gasket. As you can see, I've went ahead and I pre-cut all of the material that I was going to need, and the frames come with these pieces already cut for you. And then what you'll find is you'll actually have a little bit of excess left over, and so you can actually sit there and cut off any of that excess after you're done creating your screen, and shorten them up a little bit. But so what I'm doing is I'm pulling a little bit of that mesh just so I know that gasket material grabs all of the mesh that it possibly can. Again, even on the long sides, I'm working from the middle towards the outside. If I tried to go from left to right or right to left, what I'm going to find is that the mesh itself may move on me. So just lay this out. Again, press down right there in the middle, just like that. If you find you get a little wrinkle, you can just pull it out a little bit and come back. And that way, you know you're getting a good screen there. Same thing going this way. And all I'm doing is just getting that gasket material started down there. Now I'm going to actually redo this. I'm going to come back down here, pull this a little bit tighter, just like that. Now obviously this isn't enough mesh or enough tension to be able to print with, and so therefore what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use 2 pieces of this gasket, and what that's going to do is that's going to give me that really good tight screen. So just like that. Okay, so now I'm going to take, I've got it, if you notice here, I've got 2 long pieces left and I've got 2 short pieces left. So I'm going to take one of my short pieces, put it right over the other piece that's already there, press down in the middle. Now these are the same tools that you use for putting in a screen into a screen door, and I'm just going to start in the middle, push my way outwards, and I'm pushing down, and what that's doing is that's actually pulling both pieces of the gasket material down into that groove. Come down to my other end here, do the same thing. And you'll see on the edges or on the corners, I've got a little bit of excess of the gasket material. Like I said, starting out, that's a normal thing. You can go in, once I complete this, I could take scissors and just cut off those edges right there. So, but we just roll this, and you can see this second piece of gasket is just pulling everything really, really tight. Put my last one in, and as I'm doing this as a instructional, so therefore I'm kind of being a little bit more deliberate. So you guys can kind of see what's happening to the actual frame. But if I were doing this, in a production setting, I could probably go much faster. So we just want to make sure it's all down in there. So I always like to go over all the sides and just make sure that I'm completely flat. I don't have any ridges or anything in the gasket. But just like that, got a good tight screen. I would just take some scissors, trim these pieces off, and that way they're not in my way if they on a press or something like that. I would also trim them back so that they would secure down in the actual grooves themselves. So, but this is just another type of frame that we've got for the GOCCOPRO. My interior sides here, or sizing for the inside printable area, you're looking at about 18.5 by about 10.5 wide for your image area. It'll fit an 11-inch squeegee wide, so you could kind of fudge in one direction if you needed to. So if you have any other questions about this frame, give us a call. Our number is 800-597-9530. You can also find us on any of our social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. So if you haven't done so already, please go out and like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube. We're constantly putting out new content, and hopefully you found this helpful. These frames, just so you know, these frames are about $150 a piece, and like I said, they do come with the gasket material and a roller. So like I said, if you have any other questions, give us a call, 800-597-9530. Thanks.